Hello and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, and essentially what this compact is it allows the United States to elect its president via the national popular vote rather than the Electoral College. And if you may not know, in order to abolish the Electoral College, you need to pass a constitutional amendment, which is an incredibly difficult thing to do. And Democrats typically do support abolishing the Electoral College and replacing it with the popular vote. Republicans typically don't, and in order to pass such an amendment, you would need a lot of support among Republicans, but Republicans typically strongly oppose such a measure. So how can you get around this? How can you still switch to a popular vote without needing to pass a constitutional amendment? Well, there's something called the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, and essentially what it is that it's an agreement between a bunch of states where they say that we will award our electoral votes to whoever wins the national popular vote, regardless of who wins our state. And this agreement goes into effect if the states that agree to it, they have at least 270 electoral votes. So, for example, if this agreement were in effect in the 2016 election when Hillary Clinton won the popular vote but Donald Trump won the Electoral College, Hillary Clinton would become president because all of the states that would have agreed to it, let's say at least 270 electoral votes worth of states agreed to this compact, they would have all cast their electoral votes for Hillary Clinton, regardless of Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump won their state. And they are allowed to do this because state legislatures are allowed to designate how their state's electoral votes are cast. They don't necessarily have to use the statewide popular vote. Now, looking at which states have currently passed this compact, 209 electoral votes worth of states have passed this measure. And the yellow states are states which I think realistically could approve this measure within the coming years, and the red states are states which I think are pretty unlikely to pass such a measure. And the yellow states are states where they've either got a Democratic governor or they're very close to having Democratic majorities in the state legislature. So there is a realistic, feasible path to approving this compact. And the red states are states, they've either got a Republican governor or the state legislature is overwhelmingly Republican, and so it's very unlikely that they would pass such a measure. And looking at which states have approved this, you've got some of these West Coast states, and then you've got Colorado, New Mexico, Illinois, Minnesota, and then some of these northeastern states as well. And looking at the states that are currently considering this, you've got Pennsylvania, Virginia, South Carolina, Texas, Kansas, and Arizona. I think Texas, South Carolina, and Kansas are very unlikely to pass this. They're pretty firmly controlled by Republicans. But Virginia, they will likely have a Democratic governor next year. The Democrats control the state legislature. Pennsylvania, if the Democrats can flip the state Senate. And in Arizona, they've got a Democratic governor, and they're very close to flipping the state legislature. But if those states can do those things, there's a great chance that they pass this compact. And then New Hampshire, they've got a Republican governor, but this is on the federal level a lean blue state. So if they can flip the legislature and the governorship, they can get it done. Same thing in Michigan, Wisconsin, which have Democratic governors, but Republicans currently control the legislature. And then Nevada, actually, the Democratic legislature did pass this a few years ago, but the Democratic governor vetoed it. But the next time the Democrats control the governorship, there is a good chance that Nevada could pass this. So they would need 270 electoral votes in order for this to go into effect. But then there is also another concern, and that concern is the legal system. What if the Supreme Court strikes this down? And I'm going to be honest, if this goes all the way to the Supreme Court, the conservatives do have a strong majority on the court. They would likely strike this compact down, regardless of whether or not it's actually constitutional. And I do think it is, but again, the Republicans, they have a strong 6-3 majority on the Supreme Court, which I don't think they would let this slide, because this would typically hurt Republicans more than it would hurt Democrats. And so, although this is eventually, I think, going to get to enough states where it could go into effect, I think it could definitely run into some legal problems. And let me know what you guys think about this idea. I think it's definitely innovative. I think the Democrats, they're going to need a lot to go their way for this to actually go into effect and for the courts not to screw with this. But again, I think if this is something that they can manage to do, this could completely transform American politics, because candidates, they would no longer just be campaigning in a handful of swing states. They need to be going all across the country. If you're a Republican in the state of South Carolina, you would no longer get ignored. Or if you are a Democrat in the state of Idaho, you'd no longer get ignored. If you live in a safe state, your voice would matter regardless of if you vote for a candidate that would lose that state or not. Everyone's voice would matter equally. And yeah, so if you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss a future upload. And I will see you all in the next video.